Our first video is going to be about Phil Robertson, or I should say the question is Phil Robertson a modern-day prophet? That is the question we are asking. Here we go.
All right. Well, as many of you know, in December of 2013, the television network A&E announced that Phil Robertson of Duck Dynasty, the senior Duck commander, was suspended indefinitely due to pressure from activist groups for comments he made about homosexuality and sin. Rather than tripping over the furniture to get to a microphone to apologize, or to agree to weeks of indoctrination therapy, the family stood together, and in 9 days, A&E backed down. And we're honored to have one of the family members joining us today, who, by the way, has also served as a local pastor for 20 years at Ferry Road Church of Christ from Duck Dynasty. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Alan Robertson.
They keep me hidden in the back, see, so nobody can see, you know, what they look like underneath the beards, and yet that's me. I want to start today by just thanking all of you for what you do. I was a pastor for 22 years before I went back to the family business. Building duck calls, although we don't build a lot of duck calls, at least the family doesn't anymore because we're all over the country spreading the good news of Jesus. So I think God had a plan for the Robertson family. You think he did? I really thank you guys, though, for what you do. That Holy Spirit journey that you take every week, that Wednesday and that Sunday, that realizing sitting down with those folks, that means more than anything. And so thank you for what you do, putting it on the line week in and week out. Also, I'm very grateful to Watchman on the Wall for Tony Perkins, a good friend of ours, a fellow Louisianan, who's here in Washington for us. And so I'm very grateful to have the opportunity. I want to tell you a little bit about our family and sort of how I fit in or don't fit in to this family. You can already tell by looking at me, right? I'm a little bit of an odd fit. A lot of people talk about our show, and they usually compare it to some other show. You know, they say it's like Andy Griffith, or some have said Dukes of Hazzard. You know, I'm not too sure about that one, but I've heard that. The Waltons is one we hear quite frequently. I compare our show to the Munsters. You remember that show, right? It was a show about a family of monsters. They were wonderful, nice monsters, but they were monsters. And there was this beautiful cousin, Marilyn, that came to live with them. And she had an identity complex because she wasn't as ugly as they were. I can totally relate to Marilyn Munster. I get it. And so, you know, that's what I compare our show to. And look, I don't get a break because even when I grow a beard, Dad and Si say I look like Yasser Arafat when I grow a beard. Which I think is totally unfair because, number one, Yasser Arafat had a terrible beard. Number two, he was a terrorist. Now, have Si and my dad looked in the mirror lately? Is all I can ask you. I mean, you tell me. You tell me who looks the most like a terrorist. I'm not getting patted down by TSA, I'll tell you that right now, but they frequently do. When you look at a family portrait, it's certain that someone doesn't quite belong. Someone doesn't quite fit in this family. But we love Godwin anyway, because it's like he's part of the family. So I want to tell you a little bit about our personalities, because that's really kind of what defines us. And growing up in the Robertson family and how unique it was and how different it was. And so I tell you that to tell you that my dad, Phil Robertson, he has the heart and the mindset of a prophet. He's most compared, of course, to John the Baptist. These are a couple of renderings I found of John. Of course, we don't have a picture of him, but this is kind of what people have imagined him to look like. And it looks sort of familiar, doesn't it, to Dad? Long hair, long beard, naturally camouflaged. He ate off the lamb, and he pointed people to Christ. He was a voice of one calling in the wilderness, prepare the way for the Lord, make straight paths for him. John's clothes were made of camel's hair. He had a leather belt around his waist. His food was locusts and honey. People went out to him, and he said, I am the voice of one calling in the wilderness, make straight the way for the Lord. And so I'm always amazed how many people will make their way out to Mouth of Cypress. Of course, we had to put up a gate because we had too many people coming out with the success of the show. But how many people make their way out just to talk to my dad about the good news of Jesus Christ? And so he was a lot like John the Baptist. He is that guy.
So there you
please,
have it.
God, tell me that shit's finally over.
So there you have it, man. Phil Robertson is, or he is, however you want to take that.
Whoa,
John the Baptist.
God. First of all, apparently, in order to be a terrorist, all you have to do is have a beard. And then showing a picture of one guy with a beard next to another guy with a beard means they're the same. They're similar. It's such a... but I do enjoy how he was talking about, he's like, I compare us to the Munsters, and basically they're comfortable, in their skin. They don't mind that they got, they're rednecks and looked at with the beards and the, whatnots, and they don't care too much about all that, right? And they brag about how comfortable they are in their own skin, and then they go and say that other people, maybe that are homosexual, that are comfortable in their own skin, shouldn't have the same rights that they get.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and that was literally a point that he made, which just maybe it escaped some people, but it didn't escape me at all. Like that he's brags about, like, look, I'm comfortable in my skin, and I don't need to hide this, and blah blah blah. He's like, and just because I don't have a beard, I feel like the odd man out. What did he call himself? Like the pretty blonde from the Munsters. Nice, yeah. Nice. Way to, yeah, you're very modest of you. And then the part about, basically, Jesus people are just gullible. You just need to read them off a Bible passage and say, I'm here for Jesus, and that's all it really takes.
That's all it takes, man.
All right, I'll pass it off.
No, I mean, go ahead, Joe, you can go now. I'll go.
I just thought it was really interesting that they liked him whenever he was on the show shooting his guns. And they liked him whenever he was praying at the end of Mills. But as soon as he came out against gays in that little interview, they fucking loved him. Like, the dude just, like, blew up, like, big time. And as far as, like, him, this whole deal about him being a prophet, like the next John the Baptist, all he's doing is just pulling dumb, outdated ideas out of an old, dumb, outdated book.
And to note that John the Baptist did get his head. He was beheaded, by the way, by the Roman Empire. So
right. It's just funny that that's all it really takes to stir these people up, is just saying some old ignorant shit out of the Bible, and then people just get in the fucking, like, they love the dude. I guess they're looking for somebody. I guess that conservatives are just like idolizing the shit out of people that stand up against this big bad gay movement where big gay is coming in. Like, was it like Brian Fisher that even said that? Like, they're like Gestapo types. The gays are just trying to cram their gayness down our throats.
He was constantly comparing. He said that all the Nazis were gays. That the Nazi Party was started in a gay bar.
I mean, what can you say about this guy? I love that he's trying to compare his father to a prophet, or he's trying to say his father's a prophet and compare him to John the Baptist. Oh, people wanted to seek out his advice, and he ate locusts and honey. I'm pretty sure Phil Robertson doesn't eat locusts and honey. I'm pretty sure he eats better than that. I'm pretty sure he's a rich piece of shit who is a lying scumbag cocksucker who is just using religion as another way of getting more money and gaining more fucking bullshit power, or whatever the fuck he wants. I mean, seriously, they go from these non-bearded people to these redneck Christian, good Southern folk. I've always lived here in the South, and I'm Jesus and God this and Louisiana, and I love hunting. I love all. Yeah, okay, right, sure. It's big all scam. A big fucking facade, all a big scam for money. And the fact that people continue to believe that this guy's some type of prophet is beyond fucking me. I really don't understand these goddamn Christians.
Well, that's what it is, man. These Christians that watch a show like this or support a show like this is due to the religion. They don't care about the facts or the evidence or what their past is. They don't care. They just roll with it because it's Jesus. It's God. It kind of gives
Christianity. It gives a new meaning to, Duck Dynasty has high profits.
That's a good one. That was a good. Was that off the cuff too?
Yeah, it was.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. No, I mean, look, what I got to say about this real quick is it seems like it's just a gathering of bigots. It's just amazing, man. It's all about money, man. It's all it is. Donations, money, and let's be a bigot. Let's talk down on America or society. Let's just do that. That's what it's about.
And you get paid for it.
Fuck people that oppose our views. It's all about us. It's all about Christianity. It's all about Christ. That's it. God. That's all it's fucking about. They don't care about anything fucking else. They don't care about your right to be an atheist or your right to be gay or homosexual and to get married. They don't care about that. It's like if you have anything to say about Christianity, dude, you're a piece of shit in their eyes. That's how they look at it. And one other thing I want to really say here was you can have your bigotry. You know, you can have your religion, you have that right to, but leave us alone. Leave us alone when it comes to our secular country, our secular views. What our secular government, you know, our secular documents, our founding documents were secular, okay?
That's not how the religion works.
Of course, that's not the religion works. Of course that. But of course, I say this all the time, and I just want to say that at the end here. But
no, I mean, you have to consider that while we consider ourselves skeptics, so do they. They consider themselves, they're skeptical of liberalism, they're skeptical of Democrats, they're skeptical of atheism, they're skeptical of all these things, and they consider themselves skeptics the same way we do. We just,
we do it right.
Exactly. I think we're the ones, I mean, and obviously I might be a little bit biased here, but I think I'm more introspective than that. And I'm not willing to lie to myself. I'm not willing to see a piece of information that disagrees with what I believed before and just dismiss it because I disagree with it. I'll actually, you know, study it further, and that's how I've changed a lot of what I used to believe, and I'm not afraid. I'm not ashamed to say that. To change is to be similar to science, to improve your outlook on everything, and you know, if you can't do that, then I don't consider you a truly open-minded person or a skeptic.
That's amazing. I love that analogy, dude. That's
why I say I think we're doing it right, because I'm in that same boat. I've changed. I live a completely different life than I was living, you know, a decade ago.
He used to be really skinny with short hair.
I did.
And he didn't wear sunglasses inside.
Actually, that's all very true. Yeah, it was. See what atheism did to me?
Oh, shit.